Greetings, everyone. So what if I tell you that you can transform your life by doing something that you do already every day? But before that, I would like you to think about a situation which was stressful for you. Could be in the past, could be present, whatever that situation is. How did you manage stress? What did you do? We all keep hearing about, don't be stressed. Stress is not good. We all know that, all that. But do we even realize that stress has become a normal part of our life? For me, one stressful situation was during my graduate studies. Immense pressure, endless deadlines, assignments. And I did not even realize that stress was part of my normal life. It's only at that time I came across a workshop on breathing. And my first reaction was, really? Do I need to take a workshop after living 20 years to how to breathe? But after 20 minutes of practice, my mind became still, absolutely still. And that was the first time I realized my mind was running all the time. It was like discovering a new dimension within my own self. So that stuck with me. And that one little thing became my habit and practice. And little did I know that that will transform my whole life. Throughout my schoolings, I was an average student, mediocre, B grades, C grades at best. I never imagined myself doing what I'm doing now. Being a professor at Harvard, doing the work, including giving this talk. So that's when things started changing. So what happened over time that with the daily practice, I was living in that present moment, because life happens in this present moment. And once we are in that present moment, we know what is the best thing to do at that time. Whatever the situation is, being stressful, whatever action needs to take, you will take the right action in that moment. But living in that moment is the most precious thing. And how do we do that? Breath is the key. I became more productive, I became more focused, more confident. I remember giving a talk a few years back in front of 20 people, and most of them were my friends, and I was literally shaking because of nervousness. And now I've given talks in front of 1,000 or more people. I became emotionally resilient. So as a child growing up, one of my biggest fears was losing my mom. And as an adult, that fear remained in me somewhere. Back in 2021, I learned that my mother was diagnosed with terminal cancer and she had only 6 months to live. So that news was devastating. But to my own surprise, I lived in that present moment, cherished the moments I had with her last few months of her life, did what was needed. And I did not even realize that I had developed that resilience over the years. And a large part of that goes to the breath work I had been doing for years. So breath is not just the air that goes in and out of our lungs. It is connected with our emotions. If you look at if you're stressed or angry, if any one of you ever get angry, how is the breath? It's rapid, shallow. Naturally, it happens. Or when we are happy, how is the breath? It's very smooth, calm, we hardly even notice. So just like that, our breath can change our emotions. By breathing in certain rhythms, we can have a positive impact on our emotions. And people have been doing breathing for thousands of years. And it has a huge impact on our well-being. Just a minute or two of breath work can start bringing the mind back, settles down. It's calming the mind. That's the power of breath. And there are many different kinds of breathing practices people have been doing. There's one very powerful that I do, it's called Sky, Sudarshan Kriya Yoga. So what happens when we do such breath work? So as a scientist, I was curious, so I looked at the research. So with my team at Harvard, we started collecting the evidence about what has been published, what research is saying about the breath work, its importance, is it real? So we collected close to 300 research studies published across the continent, looking at different kinds of outcomes. And we found that these studies show that breath can have a profound impact on our physical outcomes. It helps reducing the blood pressure. It improves the lung capacity, lung functions. It increases heart rate variability. It also has an impact on our mental health, reducing stress, anxiety. It improves our cognitive functions, which is very necessary for our successful life in profession and school and college, improving our cognitive abilities. It also helps in reducing cravings for addiction, like drugs, alcohol. So that's such a huge impact of breath work on our well-being. And we often look for complex solutions in our life. There's something simple and powerful we have within us, which is our own breath, right under the tip of our nose. Now, if I take you looking at the state of mental health of our nation, what are we seeing here? 21 million people in the US experienced major depressive disorder last year. It's about 8% of the adult population. According to a recent survey in the CDC, 40% of adults have some mental anxiety, mental health issues, or substance misuse issues. Even worse, about 50,000 people are committing suicide every year, which is one death every 11 minutes. And this mental health crisis affects every strata of human life. Of note, look at doctors who spend their entire life taking care of other people. They struggle with their own mental health. Did you know that 300 to 400 doctors are committing suicide every year in this country, which is equivalent of the entire class of medical school? So we should pause here and see what is happening. We have all the knowledge, all resources with us. We know stress is bad. We know what we should not be doing. We have access to Google, ChatGPT, but still, are we living the life that we should be living? Are we living in this present moment? And what are the tools that we have to avoid reaching these statistics? And breath is that. Breath is a very powerful tool. Now, myself, as my journey started, I was very skeptical when I heard about a breathwork workshop. But from that onwards, looking at the benefits, I became a certified instructor now. So I often frequently teach workshops in different settings, and I've witnessed the transformation happening in people's lives. Recently, there was a person from a government institution, a prestigious one. She took the workshop, and afterwards, after a few weeks, she told me that she was suffering from insomnia for months and months. And 2 weeks of workshop, she got her sleep back. It sounds simple, but for somebody who's not getting her sleep back, this was life-changing. So many such examples I witness. If there's one thing I hope you take from this talk, it is that our breath is one of the biggest transformative tools that we have. And each one of you can transform your life using your breath. Thank you.